30 men.
29 German suplexes.
28 Rikishi fat asses.
27 ankle locks.
26 times JR says Chucky.
25 moments of fans being baffled by JR's hatred of Chuck Palumbo.
24 people asking each other, hey, why are Spike Dudley and Taz the tag team champions?
23 Ric Flair chops.
22 Vince McMahon chops.
21 other entrants after entrant number 9.
20 times people ask themselves, who the fuck is that, as Maven comes out.
19 steel chairs underneath the ring that never get taken out, but they're there, and you know that they're underneath that ring.
18 times they'll rewind the podcast back to the beginning so you can actually fully understand that JR said that Val Venis or Goldust might possibly actually win.
What number was it? 16? 17?
17.
17 crowd signs that reference Goldust raping a man's father.
16 Scotty 2 Hotty fans in attendance.
15 to 1 odds of Scotty 2 Hotty actually winning.
Is that 14, yeah?
Yeah, 14 is now.
14 million to 1 were the odds that Jericho wins and retains the world title. Yeah.
13 consortiums.
12 of those consortiums headed by one man, Ricky the Dragon Flair.
11 different places where Vince McMahon has muscles and nobody else has places.
10 times Vince McMahon says he's turned on by violence during the promo for Flair vs. McMahon.
9 times Jerry Lawler says puppies instead of calling the fucking match.
8 hoes accompany the Godfather to the ring.
7 hoes have some kind of sexually transmitted disease.
6 of them got it from Jerry the King Lawler.
5 of them wonder what they're doing with their lives.
4 of them remember when Mr. Perfect used to wrestle.
3 titles on the line.
2 promos indicating that William Regal uses brass knuckles.
1 amazing podcast.
0 chances of you turning this off.
WWP presents the Royal Rumble 2002.
If you used that, it would actually be hilarious.
I'm going to.
I don't know if you want to use that. I'll put it at the end. Do you want to do like a real intro just in case that one's a bit shite?
Yes, I think we probably should. Yeah.
But anyways, Rikishi comes out at number 1.
Yep. Goldust number 2. One of the great entrances in wrestling.
Great pop.
Yeah. What do you think of Goldust? I'm a huge fan, personally.
I've always liked, ever since I was old enough to remember wrestling, I remember Goldust.
Yeah.
Because he just stood out.
Yeah. He's so good.
Whenever he's in the Federation, in the feed, he's always so good. He's always quite thin. Always in good shape, in general.
Except like about 6 months from now, I think he completely loses himself.
Doesn't he team with Booker T?
Yeah, he teams with Booker T. Then I think he gets released at the end of this year or in the middle of 2003.
Yeah, because he gets the stuttering gimmick.
Yeah, that's right. And he kind of, I don't know, but he falls apart in terms of his looks and everything. He comes back, he's quite overweight, and he doesn't last long. But when he came back in his most recent run, I would say it's probably been his best run.
Which is insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like 2010 he came back, and then because he fucked off again, and he came back again. He had that match with Randy Orton to fight for Cody's sort of career or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because he hadn't been around, and the whole of Raw, like that Raw is one of my favorite Raws. They're just building him up the entire night. Here's him winning the Intercontinental title. Here's him come back. Here's him, blah, blah. And he has this amazing match with Randy Orton because what I liked about that is they both have really good snappy power slams.
Yeah, they do. I love that as well. It's so good.
Bit of that. But JR says he's wondering what Goldust has been doing since '99. Well, since he left the Fed in '99. Tell you what he's been fucking doing. Creeping up on children. S7. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't, but I knew you were referencing something that actually happened and thought, yeah, that sounds right.
I'm not just making accusations. He had this gimmick in WCW. He was supposed to be sort of like a Grim Reaper, sort of Undertaker type, but he would just creep on children in their bedrooms, and it was just like, this is weird. And he came out on his debut, big grand entrance. He fucking was kind of dropped in and looked kind of scary because he had all pale makeup, and he cuts a shoot promo and says a bunch of crap.
Yeah, he says about how he fucking hates this gimmick and he's just not doing it, and he's sick of being booked into another stupid gimmick and stuff. That's really cool, and that was really clever from WCW too. That was back when they were very close to the top of their game when it came to booking people. I just think that was really, really clever work from Bischoff.
Do you know what the problem is, though, with Goldust or with Dustin? Because he's fucking boring as himself.
Yeah, he is. I remember, when I watched that match where it was him against... Who was he? Was it Mark Merrow or someone? It
might have been Pillman. How would I know your memories? Sorry, I'm just guessing.
Yeah, it might have been... It was whoever took Terry Runnels away from him. Val Venus. It was Val Venus.
It was Pillman then.
Oh, Pillman, sorry.
Oh! No, though, they did Pillman in 97 and 98. So it was the rehash of the same feud because Pillman died during it.
Yeah, this was 98 and...
Oh, it's definitely Val Venus then.
Val Venus kicked the fuck out of Dustin Runnels and took Terry Runnels away. And, it seemed like the commentators didn't even have that much sympathy for Dustin Runnels. It was really boring. He was on his knees just not talking and just being like, this is bad. I want my wife
pretty
back.
short.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was it was dull. But then you get Goldust and he's just, he's awesome. His movement, the Shattered Dreams is such a great move.
His moveset is completely different from everybody else. I love that thing he does when he falls down and slaps you in the face.
Yes, that's so cool.
His taunts are great. He's all around really good. They don't really do this anymore, obviously, the whole gay thing. They did that in the 90s. Mm-hmm. Because they did an interview with Vince in the ring, and he's like, Are you a faggot? It's, that thing, they're looking to get that word out.
Yeah.
But they're trying to pretend that the word just comes out of your body. So Vince would be like, I believe you have some strange ideas of what you do. And Goldust is like, I do not know what you mean, Mr. Announcer Man, because he likes to call people that. And Vince is like, well, you have a flamboyant lifestyle. And Goldust is like, yes, I am gold. And he's like, are you a faggot?
Jesus
and it's
Christ.
just like, there it is. They wanted to get the word out, and they pretended it was like, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay. But yeah, they completely took that out of the gimmick, so it's more about intimidation at this kind of era, because I suppose sponsors and all that. And
do you think they could have ever done a Goldust title run, a heavyweight title run?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I wouldn't be able to tell you which time, which run, but yeah, at any point they could have just put the fucking rocket behind them as a heel or face. Probably as a heel would be better.
Yeah, I think the brand extension time would have been a good time because they're giving heavyweight belts to people like Jack Swagger and stuff like that. And even in say, when was it '08 or something when they started putting guys like Kozlov in the main event spot?
Oh dude, I'm watching. That's the point. I've got Unforgiven 2008, and they have the championship scramble.
Yeah, and Kozlov's in there, isn't he?
Yeah, it's like Kozlov.
He was in an elimination
Shelton.
chamber too.
Yeah, Shelton's getting a title match. MVP's Brian Kendrick gets the title match.
What?
Yeah, he's actually in the Unforgiven the scramble match. He's actually champion.
Jesus Christ.
For a period of time. So they were giving people a chance in that point.
I think a
Like,
Goldust title run would have been great.
yeah, even if it was like a day or a month or a week.
Yeah.
You know, maybe around the time he was with Booker, but I guess Booker was always seen as like the straight guy to his weirdness, so that's kind of set up there. But whatever, even in 97, 98, he had a title match against Taker in like 97, I think.
Yeah, that would have worked too. Taker and Goldust should work really well together in that way.
Yeah. I think he threw powder at Taker, which was like made Taker look really weird because it was like glitter. Taker looks very feminine.
Yeah,
hilarious.
that is funny.
But yeah, no, I think a title one would have worked for Goldust, and I think that not even mentioning, oh, I'm Dustin, I'm so and so's son. I think he got this character over enough. I think that was the whole point of creating the character when Vince kind of spoke to him, because he said he wanted to be just a son of Dusty.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy, it's over. You can kind of twist that and call yourself like the American Nightmare, or I think Cody calls himself that now, and do some sort of play on, you know, whatever. And he was like, no, I want you to drop all that. I want you to have this gimmick. And to be fair to Dustin, he went all in.
Yeah. It's part of his identity, like.
Yeah, because I think it's like Wrestling with Shadows, because Brett's going like, oh, there's this guy. I think they cut to Dustin. He's like, I don't feel like myself if I go out there without that outfit and that makeup and that gimmick, because it's just him.
You know, he does it all himself, too.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy how... I mean, at this point, I don't think he did the crazy patterns. He's only started doing that recently.
Yeah.
Like, when he was teaming up with Stardust, but I love the fact that he takes the basic look, and always adds and keeps himself fresh by changing little bits. Very subtle.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
But it's clever. So yeah, they go back and forth. Then the Big Boss Man comes out.
Yep.
What emotion is he displaying?
He looks like he is about to die.
He looks both concerned and angry.
Yeah. He looks like he just has nothing left to give to the world of wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's exactly, and that's the look portrayed for his eyes, as if like, I have no storylines. Why am I here? Funnily enough, he gets thrown out pretty fucking quick.
Yeah, he lasts 3 minutes. He doesn't seem into it. There's at one point he punches Goldust when he's on the ground, and it does look pretty fucking sore, but that's pretty much it. He gets super kicked out, I think, by Rikishi.
Yeah. You know, when Rikishi does a super kick, I don't mind that it's not a finisher.
Yeah,
it's just impressive to see. Oh no, he does the clothesline. He does a really shitty. So Big Boss Man is on the offensive, and Rikishi still does the inside out thing.
That's so cool. Yeah, where he takes the hit and he goes flying through the air at like 720 degrees.
But when The Rock did his clothesline, they looked amazing.
Yeah.
But the Boss Man is like, to me, it kind of came across like Rikishi's the one doing that, because Boss Man doesn't have that much arm strength.
And he didn't even get that, like, as Michael Cole would say, he didn't get all of it.
Yeah, he didn't get all of it.
He hit him with like about a fifth of his arm.
Woo, inside out.
Yeah.
But he's gone. I think that's the last time we'll see the Boss Man in the Fed in general.
Yeah.
Hell of a run, to be fair, because he started in like 88.
Yeah.
Went away, obviously, but
yeah, back then people didn't last that long.
No way. And lifestyle and all that, like, you know, I think he died about 2 years after this, but what a fucking run. And yeah, he came in as the Twin Towers, which, have you seen that t-shirt that says never forget? But instead of the actual Twin Towers, it's got like Akeem and the Big Boss Man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's actually quite funny.
I'd say so.
As if this never forget these two men.
Yeah.
And those towers. But yeah, the next up is APA Bradshaw.
Yeah, I love Bradshaw.
Bah,
Like,
bah, bah,
yeah.
bah, 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 bah. Always with the wailing. He's stiff as fuck.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I think this is the point Bossman gets Stingface and he's fucking gone.
Lance Storm and Al Snow next up. And
oh yeah. Did you see what JR said about Lance Storm?
Mr. Personality or whatever?
And then he immediately puts him over.
Oh, does he?
He's a great athlete. He's underrated. He's a great athlete. It's like, you let it slip how you actually feel about him.
Yeah.
And now trying to fucking cover up.
Yeah, it's so true, though.
I mean, he's a great athletic guy, but yeah, he never had much of a personality. And then Jerry Lawler says the Royal Rumble might be the survival of the fattest, which is a bit of a dig at Rikishi.
No. Why do you think it's Rikishi?
It's either Rikishi or Lance Storm, but it's just the idea of like, I don't know. They never flat out call wrestlers fat, I don't think. But it's just weird he went, yeah, he's a big fat lord, isn't he?
I liked Al Snow eliminating Lance Storm on the apron. Like, Storm went for the super kick to try and get
he
Snow
just
off.
grabbed him for ages and just stared at him.
Yeah, and then obviously that sets up the feud of the century between Al Snow and Lance Storm.
The trainer versus the Un-American.
Yeah.
Un-American. That's such a weird name for a team. It's just to get. It's like, why couldn't they be called Team Canada or something?
Yeah, exactly. Why can't they be something pro-Canadian instead of anti-American?
Yeah, but un-American, like, you literally are an American.
Yeah, they're literally not Americans.
Like, you don't have to go around defined by how un-American you are.
But it's not like... You would say that, like, this is un-Christian and un-American, like, talking specifically about traditional values and things like that. These guys don't hold any values that you would call un-American. Like,
no.
Yeah, they'll cut corners the odd time here and there, like cheat to win and stuff. I guess that's what they're getting at. This isn't the American way. Like, the American way is...
do that too, so it's, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Very weird. Yeah, no, I did like the elimination from Al Snow, and it's weird Al Snow got an elimination.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I thought they were going to give that to Storm.
So, you know, like earlier on where I mentioned that, like, this is that weird period between, like, eras.
Mm-hmm.
It feels the same thing for most of the people in this Rumble.
Yeah.
Because if you go about 6 months later, I swear majority of these people don't even work in this company.
Yeah,
or they're
retired,
or they're just completely gone.
Yeah.
So you got Billy Gunn coming out to the One song, which is so shit.
Yeah, but it's
so shit.
It's nowhere near as good as You Look So.
I love that one.
I fucking love it too. It's like it's just they have no concept of like the gay community or anything like that. So the way they see it is like men listen to Limp Bizkit and gays listen to Backstreet Boys. That's like literally what their entire mentality behind the Billy and Chuck shit was. And like their fucking manager is Rico, a gay hairstylist. Obviously, it's the whole thing was preposterous.
Also, it's the song from, like, the perspective of Billy to Chuck. You look so good to me. Or it's obviously one and the other. It's hilarious. Yeah. It's like, and what, Billy Gunn was in DX all these years, and he was like the ring, and like, so he's gay now? He was a cowboy before that with Bart Gunn and the Smoking Guns. It's just like, this man, there's no gimmick he won't have. Yeah. In the fucking business. It's unbelievable. Mr. Ass.
One time, like, I don't know who Triple H was talking about at the time, but like he points at someone implying that they're gay. This was Raw 2002. And he goes,
"Oh yeah.
You're gonna learn a whole new meaning of the word suck it." And it's like, actually, it's the same meaning. Like, do you not understand that when you were saying suck it, that you were talking about your dick?
Your dick. You're gonna learn a whole new meaning of the words blowjob. And it's like, what? What did it mean to you previously? Tell us.
It's so stupid.
So, Bradshaw eliminates... Hang on. Yeah, so Snow eliminates... No, Storm...
Bradshaw doesn't get an elimination. Al Snow eliminates.
Eliminated.
Yeah, Billy comes in and gets rid of Bradshaw. Unceremoniously, too. Yeah,
like dumped out, and he throws a fit.
Yeah.
And some guy next to him with the Hawaiian shirt is like doing like the most hilarious wave. He's like, bye-bye, bye-bye. and knowing JBL, probably that guy's likely to get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly.
And then number 9, Dead Man Walking.
No, he's number 8.
He's number 8.
Yeah, he's number 8.
He's number 8.
Keep rolling.
He looks badass.
He does.
This is why you shouldn't talk.
He looks
Never
less,
talk.
He looks less cool when he takes the hat off, though.
What, the bandana?
No, he's got like a beanie cap on here, doesn't he? When he comes out,
didn't notice.
It's the Dead Man Inc. beanie, and he's got sunglasses. And he takes off the sunglasses, and you're like, still looks alright. Then you see his sort of short ginger hair,
Big ginger.
juxtaposed by his wide-eyed, I'm angry that no one respects me, and that confuses me look that he has on his face. And JR's like, business is about to pick up. And Taker gets in.
This guy shoved my head into somebody's ass. But that's okay, folks. I don't hold grudges.
I'm from Texas. And that's not even true. JR's from Oklahoma. Actually, did you know that JR was born in California?
No.
Yeah. There you have it. There you have it, folks. He's a fraud.
So he's a fraud. Oh my god! This whole time,
yeah,
he's talking about Oklahoma. What it means to say is California.
That's right.
Although it would be weird though if he actually just started going on about how much he loves like South Beach. I'm over there at Gold's Gym working out with the boys.
Sunset Boulevard is where I spent my childhood.
I could see the Hollywood sign. So, yeah. Taker just fucking cleans house.
Yeah, he gets rid of Rikishi, choke slams Goldust over the top.
And Billy, I think, as well.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And then up next is version...
Oh, hang on. This is where Lawler does the tease for Billy Goldberg, mate.
Oh, what does he say?
So Taker cleans the ring, and the countdown's on, and Lawler says... There's one thing I don't want to be next.
Oh, right.
Come on. Like, I think in 2017, if the commentator says that, I think it's definitely that person.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's Matthew Hardy.
Yeah, that's right. And he comes out
with V1?
No, he's not V1. For some reason, I thought he was, but he's not because, obviously, Jeff follows him in. And
he's dressed like V1, though. He's got, like, the V1 face.
Yeah, he's got that, and that big, gigantic, like... dress t-shirt thing that goes down to his knees.
Because he's no longer wearing the mesh shit like Jeff is. Jeff was like a meth addict as well.
And also is one at this time.
Not only does he look it, he lives the game.
Yeah, exactly. He's committed to his gimmick.
Yes, they beat the shit out of Taker, which I thought was a nice moment of Taker giving.
Yeah, they had a cool little feud for a while, though, Taker and the Hardys. And when Taker was Undisputed Champion, I remember he had a ladder match with Jeff on Raw, and it was fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's when he turned face out of that.
Yeah, he sort of gave him the pat on the head after.
Yeah.
The patented Undertaker pat on the head.
Yeah, we've all had it.
Yeah, we've all been there.
I think Cena had it on his debut as well.
Cena's debut was against Angle, but the next week he was in a tag team match where Taker was his partner, and Taker was giving him shit before, and he was like, "Goddamn kid, you better look out for me out there." And then after the match, he's like, "You did good, kid.
You did good, kid. You did actually look out for me as I requested, boy. This dog is happy as a dog with a bone." Shakes his hand and sayonara.
That's right, that's it.
Yeah, no, I remember that, but wasn't most of this feud just Taker battering the Hardys?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It was like when Austin and Triple H feud with the Hardys as well. It's like, it's a cool thing, but they got bad. But I guess that's the point of rubbing shoulders with like the top tier guys, is,
that's
you know,
right, yeah.
Especially not as a push guy, just the reactions they get, I fucking love it. He takes the twist of fate like a neck breaker though, which is annoying.
Yeah, he takes it like how Jeff gives it. Like Jeff does the twist of fate, but it's a neck breaker, a stunner. Yeah. Nowadays. Yeah, but
what an amazing last ride he does though to Matt.
I know, yeah, he fucking kills him, and he eliminates the Hardys twice.
Yeah, they get booed when they come back in because they just start attacking him.
Yeah, and then when Taker's like, "You two or you three." Out of my ring. You see the fucking amount of spit that came out of his mouth.
He was all in gimmick, and then the greatest song hits, mate. The I actually don't know the lyrics. I'll tell you the lyrics as I know it. I can see my fantasy, and so can Superman. And I'm pretty sure that's not the lyrics whatsoever.
But like, what's the thorn in your eye? The lyrics in my head are, "It's a life in a box, enjoying defeat." So I don't fucking know.
It's so deep, man.
Yeah, it is.
Life really is a box, and you're enjoying defeat. Scenes. Yeah, so he can see his dreams, and so can Superman, which is good.
Yeah, that's good. You always want to be having the same sort of visualization of dreams that Superman has.
Right.
Yeah, keep yourself on that level, you know.
So yeah, Eyebrows comes out,
Yeah, turns
and
out that
Maven
he
is
is the,
attached to him.
he's the Krypton. He's the kryptonite to Undertaker's Superman or some shit. I don't know. I've given you the basic, the makings of a joke there. You can figure it out.
I
So
got nothing.
we
I
jumped the
got
gun a bit, but Taker,
yeah
Maven is in the ring. Taker fucks the Hardys and Lita out of the ring, and
for
then
the 14th time.
Maven with the drop kick from behind eliminates the Undertaker, and the Rumble ends. Maven points to the WrestleMania sign,
And
and
he literally sees his dreams, and so does
yeah,
Superman. JR says, "By God, what the fuck?"
yeah,
And it's amazing, and it's great. Although to be fair though, like what a fucking lad Taker is, what a legend Taker is for
yeah,
giving him that, because he
yeah.
didn't have to. I'm sure he could have just walked in, punched him in the face, and gone, "See ya," but that
Yeah,
is what follows.
and bar a very brief hardcore title run, this is the only thing Maven will ever do in the Fed.
Yeah, that's I guess that's the problem, is he started off quite high up. Although, if you're ever bored, look up sort of Raw's 2004, around this same time period as the Rumble, so January 2005, December 2004. You get to see the Maven heel run.
Oh.
It's a very strange. Yeah, they basically did something with him at the Survivor Series. They put him in the main event of Survivor Series. And then they took him out because he got beaten up by Gene Snitsky. So it's these two are like a who's who of who. And
It wasn't my fault!
they have this pay-per-view in Puerto Rico where everyone gets injured, but that's a whole different tangent. And he does like the whole match. He does this massive promo in Spanish and in English, gets pinned by Shelton, does another more promo, says he wants a rematch, gets pinned by Shelton Benjamin in about 10 seconds. And then you never hear from him again. But it was actually interesting seeing him as a heel.
Yeah.
But it was more of those like, we don't care if you're over or not. We're just gonna release you at any point because we've done nothing. Like most Tough Enough winners or most contest winners of like Tough Enough or NXT, they never actually get to do shit. It's usually like the other people in it.
Most contest winners of anything never get to actually do the thing that they're in the contest for.
Because Miz didn't win.
Yeah.
Bryan didn't win.
Yeah, that's so
NXT.
funny. Like, and even like the Spirit Squad guys, like, isn't the only one that came out of that with any credibility is Dolph Ziggler?
Yeah, and he was like just another one because Kenny Dykstra was kind of like the leader.
Yeah, that's right.
So, a whole bunch of people that win things. I think Tough Enough too. I think, to be fair, Johnny Nitro won, and he did have a career, I suppose. And he's around for a while.
I didn't know he won Tough Enough too, actually.
I don't know if he won or if he was in it, but he was in a couple. He was like runner-up, then he got into another one. But then he came in as Nitro because Bischoff called him that.
I like Johnny Nitro.
Same. I think he was a really cool, athletic dude, and I saw an ECW from like 2007, 2008 when he just started the John Morrison gimmick.
Yeah.
He actually spoke like a complete cunt. You know, they do that thing when they first change gimmicks, where they get really into the gimmick.
Yeah.
He was really good, playing like an obnoxious rock star, and
Yeah,
being all
that
deep,
suits
or
him.
thinking he's all deep.
Yeah.
Him as a face didn't work. It was weird.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine it did, because, I don't know, sometimes you just spend too long being a heel, like, and it suits you too well, that when you turn face, it just doesn't work out.
Because you have to drop elements of what made you cool.
Yeah.
And that's the whole character, because he was basically like, hey, I'm just a guy from the beach, and I do parkour. I was just like,
Yeah.
please don't speak. So Undertaker proceeds to bait the fuck out of Maven.
Yeah. And also,
Just-
Scotty 2 Hotty enters, and Undertaker, on his way to continue his assault on Maven, knocks Scotty 2 Hotty out as well, with a right hand, which is pretty damn cool.
Right? Scotty Too Hotty takes the title of Tonight Show as the biggest moron in the fucking roster, because he comes out, and this is what I mean, he comes out and he has his head down while he's dancing. Who dances with their head down?
Do you dance with your head up?
I don't look up at the stars, but like, I at least look forward or to the left. He's going around as if to say, like, I could never get punched.
Yeah.
I will literally not get punched.
The action is in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just heard the massive chair shot while I'm doing my dance, but that cannot be in any way, shape, or form related to what's about to happen to me gets clocked.
Yeah. Yeah. Takes it well.
Takes it well. Takes it like a champ.
Yeah.
He has like they almost do like a stretcher job for him.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird.
So Christian comes out, but you can barely see that because Taker's still battering Maven.
Through the popcorn machine.
And then they immediately replay it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 2 seconds after, oh, here we go, here it is. Christian's the European champion, by the way.
He uses the ropes as a hammock, which I've always wanted to see someone do in a Rumble, so that's great.
Yeah. Only like certain people. I think Eddie's done it. Jericho's done. I think Punk did it that year when he had the Nexus.
Yeah.
I always like that.
Yeah.
Just chill out. I think Shawn Michaels did it as well at some point, just chilling out.
Then, yo, it's me, it's DDP.
As opposed to do 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 do. Oh yeah, that's it. I'm thinking of Raven.
Yeah. They were all just rip-offs of Nirvana songs at one point, though. It's so funny. Like his music is literally smells like Teen Spirit in WCW. Like just everybody go and listen to that right now. Just type in DDP WCW theme and it's just but then it changes like slightly to avoid copyright infringement. It's ridiculous.
I think Vampiro had like even flow.
Oh really? Yeah.
Like a after the same intro. Obviously Raven had. What did Raven
someone
have?
had "Come as You Are" that was different as well.
Yeah, it was Raven. Of course,
right. Yeah.
Which is the one I just did. I was forgetting who it was. That's like some rednecks in the studio. People like this.
Yeah.
Do that. I feel bad for DDP here. I feel kind of sad.
Yeah, I love DDP. I absolutely love him. He'd probably be in my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time.
He's very, very good. He's one of those people that like just seems to be quite good at everything.
Yeah, and he had his professional debut in the ring when he was 35 years old.
57 years old.
He is like so late to the party, and he was bad for a long time, but then he just got it really quickly and ran with it. He was a really good champion in WCW. Like I really liked his first title reign. He had
the People's Champion push as well.
Yeah. I
could
love
have done that with The Rock. They didn't.
He had this saying in WCW that was very short-lived because I think the company folded as he was getting into it. But it was, "They love me, they hate me, they'll never forget me." That's just really cool.
That's clever.
Yeah,
very
it's good,
clever. Because you can have that as a heel or as a face.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like the Bret Hart one. It's like the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
That it works, excellence of execution and all that. He had another catchphrase as well, didn't he? The "Feel the Bang."
Yeah, that's right. And that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
Big shit-eating grin. But him and Christian tangle up, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Scotty does the worm.
Yeah, that's true. And then he gets fucking thrown out straight away.
Oh, you got a spot in. That was it?
That's it, yeah.
You got what you came for with him. And then the Billy Gunn's theme hits again.
Yeah, and it's Chucky. And JR is really angry.
Did you get... Right, okay. What is going on there?
Why I don't know. Yeah.
Chucky. What kind of man goes by the name Chucky? And Lon's like, his name is Chuck. He's like, I don't give a rat's ass. His name's Chucky to me.
What else?
Chucky's a stupid name.
What is it when Jerry Lawler says, "I used to have a next-door neighbor named Chucky"? And then JR's like, "I'm sure you did." What the fuck are they talking about something there? Is that a cultural reference that I've completely missed or something?
No idea. I wonder if Chuck just had heat.
Yeah. Well, JR seems very angry about the whole situation.
Maybe he just doesn't like the noodle hair. Even though King's like, "Is it because you don't like his hair?" He's like, he sort of mumbles.
Yeah.
So angry.
Then Lawler like pushes him into basically saying...
He does.
Lawler's like, "So, JR, if he did this, would you like him then?" And JR's like, "Oh, I'm just going to be objective about the whole situation and stuff."
As you fucking should.
Yeah,
like, why are you
really odd.
all of a sudden like having digs? Yeah, but he keeps going, "Chucky there. Fuck him." It's like, what? What's going on? But he literally, the second he comes out, JR's tone just completely changes.
But why is he calling him Chucky? I don't recall him being called... Like, he's Chuck. It's Billy and Chuck. Billy Gunn,
Yeah.
Chuck Palumbo. It says CP on his trunks. I don't get why he calls him Chucky, and he does it in such a condescending tone.
Maybe he just saw the film and just had nightmares and just thought, that little bastard doll. Fuck you, Chucky.
Yeah, it's really,
Whatever.
really weird.
So yeah, that was very strange. I tried looking at Chucky, and he kept correcting the second one, saying I was trying to say Chuck. Obviously he wasn't. But never found out. Couldn't read anything on it. I'm sure if you, I don't know, tweet Meltzer, and he'll probably tell you to buy his magazine from 1922. And,
he'll tell you why Palumbo never got over. And...
yeah, and he'll give you a big article, and you're like, shit, it's a bit too long. And who are these sources? Tell me who your sources are. So yeah, Godfather at number 16.
Yeah, the obligatory Godfather.
Everyone is pretty fucking happy. He's gone legit.
He's brought 12 hoes from his escort service.
And they're all happy. They're all hilariously happy. And then in the biggest, I mean, at this point it's probably not the biggest because the fall from grace has always been happening, but DDP gets eliminated and no one even fucking sees it.
He gets eliminated off camera because the fucking Godfather entrance was taking 17 minutes.
It's so depressing.
Oh, it's horrible. It's just so
it's
sad.
So fucking depressing.
The
Godfather looked great.
Yeah, but I never liked the Godfather ever. I never liked the whole get on board the whole train. I don't like goofy stuff in wrestling. I only like the cool stuff. So like I can't get behind like Rikishi and Scotty and Grandmaster Sexay doing their dancing in the ring and all that shit. Like I don't like that. I don't know. It's look, I'm not going to be a grown man giving out about the quirky things in the fake sport that I watch.
But you can have what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah, I don't like the way he does that stupid hoe train thing, and I don't know. I couldn't even give a fuck about the fact that they're referred to as hoes and all. Whatever, it's part of the gimmick. I won't even get into it. But yeah,
he's a pimp.
Yeah,
Pimps exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah. Obviously he would refer to them as hoes because that's how pimps talk about their clients or whatever. But yeah, I cannot get into the whole thing. It's just a side of pop culture references that I'm just not.
I think he was cool back in the 90s because he made a lot of weed references.
Yeah.
Because he was like, roll up a fatty for this pimp daddy and say, beep it in easy. And I was a kid and I used to say that, just scream that, roll up a fatty. My name's the Godfather and I smoke weed. Like, oh my god, he's saying it. But no, I liked him more as Papa Shango, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he was better that way.
That was the gimmick he should have been all along. Papa Shango, the Shango Tango. Have some tango. He could have spawned. It's basically the Boogeyman about 15 years before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But he looks, because even Jar says he's dropped loads of weight.
Yeah, he says he's gone from 325 to 265, which is a flat out lie. But yeah, he definitely has lost weight.
He hasn't lost 60 fucking pounds. Yeah. So next up is Scotty's Too Hotty's theme again.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Grandmaster Sexay, but nope, it's Albert.
So did I thought it was, but then again, if it was Sexay, Lawler would have just, gone nuts as he always does.
Yeah.
It's Alberto del Hippo.
That's right. Yeah.
He changed gimmick, but he dresses and fights exactly the same, except he moves his arms every now and then. I don't get that.
He did a dance at one point, didn't he? A little dance after he slammed someone or something. But
yeah, and he did it last time in Vince's face.
Yeah, exactly.
It's weird.
He's also just halfway through. Like, he doesn't know where he is. The way you were saying that no one knows what the gimmick is here. That's what he's like. He's one half of TNA.
And he's not A-trained.
Yeah, but he's just going around, like, dancing and shit. Like, him coming out to that music just makes no sense. Makes him
like a jobber.
Yeah, it does.
Because the other guy who uses that music is a jobber.
Yeah. Except at least he has the worm, so he gets, like, a spot to do something. Like, Albert doesn't have anything like that. There's not, like, his only thing should be his furiosity and stuff, but...
No. He's quite intense. I like his bicycle kick.
Yeah, no, me too. But, like, I don't think you should ever combine his look and that moveset with the whole dancing shit. Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, you're talking about a guy who came in as Prince Albert, so...
Yeah, that's true.
It's always sideways for him.
Yeah.
So... Never really rated him anyways. I know some people like him in Japan, but I'm not going to watch him in Japan.
No, me neither.
And then, in the fucking shock of the night for me, Perry Saturn came out.
I love the way his fucking trunks are just cow.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Radicals don't work here. Eddie Guerrero was fired. I did a search of what was going on with the other Radicals, right?
Where was Benoit? I was wondering.
He had a broken neck.
Oh, right.
And Malenko had retired.
Yeah.
Like, all of them not available for the most, like, horrific reasons. Because Eddie was in the midst of his, like, dark days. He was actually wrestling in, like, Ring of Honor.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I think he wrestled CM Punk in Ring of Honor, which is weird.
Yeah.
Benoit obviously had the broken neck, and then Malenko was retired because he had loads of, like, neck problems as well.
Yeah.
Like, didn't Perry Saturn have another theme? And the mop?
I don't think Saturn had truly gone full moppy at this point. He was just weird at this point. He was...
Yeah, and The Rock made fun of his eyes going in different directions.
Yeah, and his whole thing was that he was a retard, you know, that kind of way. But I used to buy the WWE magazine, a WWF magazine that came out once a month for every pay-per-view, and there was an interview with Perry Saturn on one of them, and I can recall 2 quotes from it, one of which was, "You smell like a Viking," and the other one was, "Monkeys learn sign language so they can tell dolphins that they love them." And there was one other thing. The idea was that this interview had taken place in a restaurant, and Perry Saturn had ordered a plate of crayons, and he said, "The blue ones are for fiber." So,
Jesus.
Yeah. There's a lot going on there.
There's a lot we don't know about Perry. Mind you, though, his life's been in shambles, like, the last couple of years. He was, like, saving some woman from being raped, and he got, like, shot in the neck.
Jesus Christ,
lost all his money, went homeless, lived on the street, and no one literally heard from him. He resurfaced about 4 years ago, and then he's like disappeared again. I think he's got problems again.
Really?
Yeah, man, like very, very. But he said in interviews after they found him in like 2012, he doesn't remember a single thing about his Fed run.
Jesus Christ.
At all.
So maybe the whole him being insane gimmick was Vince trying to tap into what was actually going on in his head or something.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Like, I mean, I'm sure it might be that over the top thing of like, ooh, I was gone, but you know, because wrestlers sometimes like to exaggerate.
Yeah.
But I would take him at his word more than not and say probably doesn't remember like 70% of it.
Yeah.
Because he was just out of his fucking head.
I read Terry Runnels' AMA on Reddit one time, and she was saying that he's a really good dad to. He was a really good dad. They have a kid together.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. She said Perry's a really good dad, but his wife is very jealous when he spends any time with her. So.
As if.
I don't know, but that was probably a year ago I read that, so maybe he's kind of gotten straight since then. I don't know.
I think I just saw his Twitter. I quickly Googled his Twitter. He's doing a documentary about his life, so I guess he's not gone all disappear, which is good.
That's good, yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah, no, it's quite fucked up because he's like saying on interviews like I was trying to stop someone from being raped, I ended up being shot in the neck. Next thing you know, he's like living out of fucking bins and, you know, methed out of his head, and
that's really weird.
Like the biggest fall in terms of like, because you know some people fall, you kind of go like, you know, Jeff falls, blah blah, but it's like there's something about a fall that no one sees as well because no one kept contact with him.
Yeah, it's really sad.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it feels good that he's also just nice. So. Next up, I think it's Stone Cold. I mean, sorry, God himself comes out.
That's right. Entrant number 19.
Jesus Christ. He is so over.
Yeah.
And JR goes into high gear immediately. He's all the cliches, but it's not cliches at the time. Obviously, he's just fucking, Austin! Like he's trying to get his attention from ringside.
Waving his arm around.
Austin, please! He eliminates everybody.
Yeah, twice.
twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Checks the time. Does
Yeah.
the what. The what stomps are hilarious as well.
Yeah.
I love it. And then, hello, ladies.
Yep.
It's 2002. Fucking the returning Val Venus. And JR's like, he looks in great shape. I was like, he's always been in great shape.
He looks huge here, though. Is he always been that big? I don't know, because I contextualize him with 98. Yeah, maybe. But it's hard to know when, like, in 98 everybody was huge, pretty much.
Yeah, except like X-Pac.
Yeah. But I don't remember Val Venus coming out and being like bigger than Austin.
Yeah, I mean, Austin was tiny as well, because when Austin is face to face, I can't tell. Everyone's bodies are so different, because it's like Triple H looks huge compared to Austin, but then again, is Triple H just like gigantic anyways? So
Yeah.
But what the fuck? Val Venus gets offense on Austin.
Yeah.
He does elbows, knees, does a fucking stomp, starts kicking him in the face and punching him, and then Pervert himself comes out.
Yeah. Test. This is a test. Test. This is a test.
Ride the fucking high school sock jock or whatever that was.
Jack off for you will go.
Exactly. We all know all the classics. They're here. Yeah, the sexual assaulter himself. JR says he's got immunity.
Yeah.
Why don't we just book yourself to have a title match every night then?
Yeah.
Or interfere in every title match until they give you a title match.
The immunity thing, it didn't go anywhere. It's just what I don't get about it. Like, it's so weird. Like, they were pushing him, clearly. They were building him up to something. But he never became anything.
No, I don't think he's even at WrestleMania. I don't remember him being at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But I'm not... WrestleMania 18 is not my forte. So I'm not 100% on it, but...
Because I know the year before this, he had a U.S. title match with Eddie.
European title.
European U.S., which was fucking awesome and really, 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 really underrated if you guys check that out.
Yeah.
I think it's a lovely match. So he comes out. I think Austin sends them both out.
Yeah, they pound away at Austin, and then Austin gets the upper hand and gets rid of the two of them. And then up next...
Brr.
Time to play the game!
By God, there he is. His knee's no longer fucked. It's Triple H.
He was on the cover of Vengeance, but he never even made it to the pay-per-view. By God Almighty.
Here he is. It's a beautiful day. He must have fallen into a fountain or just stepped out of the shower.
Yeah, this guy comes greased up as they come. He dips his head into a chip pan before every match. Just comes out covered in grease.
Match routine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he's ridiculous how wet he is.
Yeah, and
he still drinks the bottle of water.
Yeah. These two guys, they square off, and just when you think it couldn't get any better, stand back. There's a hurricane coming through, and my pick to win the Rumble comes out. Hurricane Helms.
There he is in the flesh. I think he's got a last name at this point, which is odd.
I love Hurricane.
So JR says like, what do you think is going through his head, Jim? And Jim's like, I don't know what superheroes think about these days. We don't have many in Oklahoma. All right. We don't have many superheroes in Oklahoma.
We got them in every other state, obviously.
Yeah. I don't remember the fucking the barbecue sauce man. Superhero. Although he'd be awesome. I just made that up. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it would be unpleasant to have barbecue sauce thrown in your face, particularly the eyes, depending on the intensity of the sauce itself. But
it's quite be, isn't it, in general?
Exactly. Yeah.
The smell gets on you. Yeah, it really does.
But Hurricane comes in, goes to chokeslam both men, and
I love that spot.
Same, it's great. I fucking love the Hurricane.
Fuck?
Like the fact that they gave Gregory Helms this shit to work. No, I don't think there are many people who could actually pull that off. Being entirely honest, I don't think someone could make the superhero thing be so ridiculous and pathetic, but yet you want to root for the guy. Like,
Agreed. Yeah.
he made it work. Like, fair play to him. It totally did work, and he was awesome. I really, really enjoyed that, especially when he was teaming with the Big Show and stuff, and then him and Molly, and yeah, I loved her.
And Kane as well.
Yeah, so cool.
His segments with The Rock. He actually beat The Rock.
Really?
Yeah, when The Rock did his Hollywood heel run.
Oh, wow.
And he's like backstage and he's like pretending to pick up phone. It's like, hey, it's nobody. He wants to talk to you. Just fucking, it's hilarious between The Rock. Because like, this is The Rock at his peak heelness, in my opinion. When he comes back like Hollywood Rock and he's like, literally just buries everyone. But he's so good, so entertaining. That it's a good thing that there weren't smarks in the crowd back then, because they probably would have won bit cheering him.
I know, yeah. That's a huge fucking issue I have with watching wrestling now, is that it's all over the place. The entire aesthetic of gimmicks is all over the place. They don't know how to contain what they're doing.
Yeah, and they only boo, like, bad workers. That's the heels.
Yeah.
So Corbin and Jinder and those lads, they'll actually get booed. So in a way, they're actually good heels.
Yeah.
But they're not. Because you don't want to see them.
Yeah, it's
weird.
ridiculous, yeah.
So yeah, back Triple H and Austin, bit more, and then Farouk.
Brown out.
On point. He doesn't have, because at one point he had this sort of like, "I'll be doomed," and then the song kicked in.
Oh, I don't think that was for a long time after, though.
Was it? Oh man, I think it's in one of the games at this point, but
really?
I could be wrong. I always get confused. Like, honest to God, like 2002, 2003, 2004, so hazy to me.
Same, yeah, no, same.
So anytime I'm like, did this happen then, or like, they're just, again, anything until the John Cena era seems like just weird.
Yeah.
That's another era we should definitely look back on as well, the pre-Cena era.
Yeah.
Even the rise of Cena.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
So I think Farouk's number 24.
Yep.
So at this point I noticed as well, like, this Rumble is actually quite segmented in groups of 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Because you know how they have, like, the thing where it's, like, 8 people in the ring, and then, say, a big guy comes out and he eliminates 6 of them, and then it builds up again until another big entrance, because they kept all the big stars fairly, like, every sort of 5 or 6 numbers you'd have a huge star. That means that person would eliminate 3 or 4 people, and then you'd have, because I think at most in the ring you'd have about 6 people, which is like the same as the video game can handle.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, that's true. They didn't really know how to book Rumbles for a long time. Like, if you go back and watch the Rumbles from the 90s, like, they're garbage. They're so difficult to watch. Like,
they're all just sequential, like, he comes in, he gets eliminated. There's no spots, it's just punch-kicky.
There's rarely a business is about to pick up, guy comes in, eliminates a bunch of people. That is like a strictly Attitude Era evolution of the
or
Royal
Hogan.
Rumble match. Yeah.
In the early ones, in which you literally have 18 people and Hogan clothesline every single one of them out. But this one, they kind of do it in groups of 4 or 5, so like, you had the sort of like the Al Snow group, because he was like the last one of that group. Then you had like the Undertaker section of the group. Then you had like the Austin that he's eliminated a bunch of people. Now you've got the Triple H section, and now we're into like the sort of the final relay of it.
This is when this Rumble gets really, really good.
Yeah,
from here.
That's where it picks up.
Yeah.
Farouk's out.
Mr.
So
Perfect.
Picks up.
Mr. Perfect follows him, and he looks fucking great.
That's the towel gimmick. I love it.
I love Mr. Perfect, man, and he was so good in this Rumble. Like, he just still had it. Completely still had it. Like, no reason why he shouldn't be a mainstay on the roster.
Did you notice, though, how later on he gets entangled with Kurt Angle, and to me it was just like, this is weird. You guys are from completely different eras.
Yeah, but they have such a similar, like, style and everything.
Yeah, he meshes well with everyone.
Yeah.
And he hasn't wrestled any of these people, because I know he's in WCW, and again, JR takes a dig. He's like, he was at near obscurity. Like, he didn't do a lot in WCW, but he was like, again, he was in the NWO.
Yeah, obviously, of course.
Shock, horror, but yeah. And then, so he comes in, and I believe he goes after Austin and Triple H, because they're the only people there anyways.
Yeah.
Is it Show next, or is it Kurt first?
What happened was Mr. Perfect came out. He was followed by Angle.
Okay, thankful.
They had and then Big Show came next, which my favorite part of any Rumble is when it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well,
What is the word?
by God Almighty, business is about to pick up.
Still trying to put him over. Still trying.
Yeah. Big Show coming out. It was pretty cool, to be fair. I think he chokeslam Triple H or something like that.
Did you see the thing he did on the way to the ring where he touched his wrist?
No.
So when he comes out to the ring, keep an eye on this in the future if you ever see the Big Show in our shows. He touches his wrists 3 times. That means I love you to his missus, which I thought that was quite sweet. Oh,
the
what
big
a romantic
softy.
The big lover boy.
Yeah.
Other little known fact about the Big Show, Michael Hayes sings this song.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, you're 2 for 2 on Big Show facts.
Yeah, excellent. The master of Big Show trivia is here.
He's number 27, isn't he?
Yeah, number 27.
Yeah.
The number from which most people win the Rumble, but that statistic hasn't been touted around yet, so...
No, they haven't done that video like they do now. The number 27.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
The most amazing number. Then, like, we've had over £250 million in the ring. Bullshit. Kane has the most eliminations. Oh, I have Roman now, I guess.
Yeah, I love the Rumble that Batista won, which, you know, the Rumble that was ruined by the fans booing everything that wasn't Daniel Bryan.
Poor Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I know.
He just wasn't Daniel Bryan. He was number 30.
He should have thought of that before he decided to live his life as Rey Mysterio and not Daniel Bryan. But
it caught up to him in 2014, didn't it?
That's true. Very true. Roman Reigns in that Rumble was awesome. Really, really, really cool.
So good. And he was over as fuck.
He was over, yeah. Ugh.
You're listening to WWP, the premium podcast of the wrestling universe. If you're enjoying this episode, please log into iTunes and consider leaving a rating and a review. The direct link to the iTunes feed can be found in the description of this episode, alongside our Twitter, Facebook, and other social media links. WWP, slam it!
I watched that at a friend's house. A couple of people were there. This is like one of the few times where I watched a non-WrestleMania pay-per-view live. And he doesn't think he's a mark, but he is a mark. And I'm a mark too, but I'm better at hiding it in front of him.
Yeah.
So I'll just act all cool, but let's just say one of us had a 20-minute rant as to like their annoyance why Daniel Bryan didn't come out, and it sure as shit wasn't me. He was having none of it. He was like, it's one of the worst pay-per-views I've ever seen. I'm like, holy shit, you're just throwing that out there.
That's the thing that I fucking hate about this era of wrestling, is the fact that, like,
the snap reaction.
Yeah, man, every single pay-per-view, I will go out on a limb and say this, every single pay-per-view for the last 2 years has been average at worst. Like, they range from average to actually pretty good, but they are never the worst pay-per-view ever. But if the marks don't get their way, it's the worst thing of all time. It's shit. It's terrible. Tyler Breeze should have won the title at this pay-per-view. It's ridiculous. They're putting over this huge guy who has really good matches with people, and they're not putting over this skinny guy from NXT who does lots of flips. It's ridiculous.
How dare they? How dare they? And then
it's pathetic.
The other thing as well is when you read the because on Twitter obviously you have to be a bit more brief with your comments, but sometimes I'll read like the Raw report from like PW Torch. Well, I'll do this probably tomorrow at work. Oh shit, just outed. It's a Monday. But yeah, you know, and you read the comments at the bottom, and it's just like, they don't know what they're doing. I've never seen a show so. And I'm not. This isn't even like me hyperboling, and it's just like word for word. Like, they know what they're doing. This is the worst show they've ever booked. And I always find it weird when they talk about it, because you wouldn't talk about other shows and other sort of entertainment forms is like that, you wouldn't be like, that producer is the worst producer to produce that album. How dare you produce an album that bad, you know?
Yeah.
Or you wouldn't be like, oh, the guy writing for Rick in The Walking Dead, he's fucking shit, isn't he? Like, you wouldn't do that. But in WWE, people seem to think that, like, these writers have, like, they're either, like, these complete retards, because the problem is, when they get something wrong, they're at fault. When they get something right, it's the wrestlers who got it right.
Exactly, yeah, totally. There's never any respect for the backroom staff when things go well. It's because Daniel Bryan made it happen.
Yeah, and no one wrote anything for him, blah blah. And then the other problem with it as well is when they start giving shit to Vince. They always go, he's lost his mind. He's a crazy billionaire. Oh, he's so crazy. It's like, so you're saying that Vince has lost his mind for like 12 straight years?
Yeah.
But, you know, you'll watch again on Monday, and you'll watch WrestleMania again. I used to listen to this call-in show called The Law, and I don't know if you've heard of live audio wrestling.
No, I don't think so.
And, fuck me, I'm about to trash another show, oops. I stopped listening to it because, honestly, it's like a radio show, and the hosts are, quite condescending to the callers, who usually are negative, but they're not negative. But then the people who host the show, they're so negative. Like anything, you know, when you talked about the Bellas earlier, anything with the Bellas, like they say something about they're a cancer to wrestling, like really horrendous shit.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I know you're just doing the whole devil's advocate thing, but there is hopefully what we're getting across is constructive criticism as opposed to just going like, well, this is fucking shit because what I wanted to happen didn't happen.
That's
and I don't,
it, right?
And I don't understand what a payoff is. It's like the Daniel Bryan thing. It's like, yes, we all didn't know he was going to win at WrestleMania, but it was like, he's got to get his comeuppance. Oh no, so Triple H's got to get his comeuppance soon, because that's how wrestling works.
The thing, like the thing about them saying Vince has just picked Roman Reigns to be the guy. He like, there's nothing else to it. He just picked him. He has no ability. He can't do anything. Like even when Reigns does something amazing in the ring, the crowd chants, "You still suck." And what they're saying there is, we acknowledge this is a good thing that you've done, but fuck you, man. Fuck you for everything that you've done. Like, fuck you for being the guy that Vince picked, right?
How dare you?
They say, like, he was part of a stable. They just picked him, put the belt on. They didn't even change his gimmick from when he was in the stable, right? Fucking Finn Balor comes along. They just pick him from obscurity out of... Not obscurity, obviously. They pick him out of NXT, straight in the title picture, wins the title, everyone's happy. Like, the only difference there is that Finn Balor's indie credentials have been well established. But they've taken a guy, hasn't changed his gimmick from when he was Prince Devitt. He's not very good on the mic, which is a thing that they attribute to Roman Reigns a lot. All of this shit, but when it's their guy, like, they're delighted with it. The thing about being a wrestling fan is that when you first watch wrestling, you're not a mark, you're just a normal fan. Then when you get your payoff,
you are a mark, not a smark.
Yeah, sorry, you're a mark. Yeah. And then you get to become a smark after you get the first ever amazing payoff for the thing that you like. People forget, right, that there was a pay-per-view, Backlash 99, I think it was, where it was Austin against The Rock, and Shane McMahon was a special guest referee, and it was Corporate Rock. And
perfect reference, my man.
Yeah, and Austin is there, like, he's being booked ridiculously. People who think Roman Reigns is overbooked, right? Look at the way Austin was booked from about 98 onwards. It is absolutely insane. If they did stuff like this with Reigns, you guys would be fucking, like, cutting people's heads off. Like, there's a point in the match where the crowd is chanting, "Rocky, Rocky," and JR goes, "And the crowd is chanting for Austin." It's ridiculous.
No, they're not. Yeah. That's like what Michael Cole would do about The Miz.
Exactly. And like Austin, he wins the match. Like somehow Shane just counts for him. Like that's just what Shane just has to count for Austin.
Vince comes out.
Yeah, Vince is like super furious at it. If that happened now, if like, I don't know, whoever the main villain in a Roman Reigns centerpiece would be, if Stephanie, special guest referee, counted for Reigns after he had speared Triple H, the whole fucking IWC would explode. They'd be like, this makes no sense. Why would this happen? Right? But it happened for Austin. This is how they have always booked faces to be like that. So like...
And you know how they give out to Roman as well for like, oh, he doesn't put people... I love that argument as if it's their choice.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Little do they know, if they just turn the clock a little bit, Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't job clean from WrestleMania, before WrestleMania, because obviously he won at WrestleMania 14, all the way to SummerSlam 99.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
And he only jobbed to Mick Foley because he didn't want to job to Triple H because he didn't like Triple H in '99.
Yeah, and he wouldn't job to like Undertaker and like that. Like
No, only time he lost to Kane in the First Blood, screwy. He was like they took the title when Kane and Taker pinned them in that triple threat. That Kane and Taker couldn't attack each other.
That was Breakdown
Screwy.
in Your House, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like one of the last times I actually had the name In Your House, you know?
Yeah. It was a smoking skull belt at the time.
I think you could count in your hands the number of times Austin lost on pay-per-view clean.
Yeah.
And no one gave him shit for it.
No.
Because you were invested in the whole journey. And you understood the fact that, you know, maybe he is the guy they want. Maybe he is getting the rocket, but you're still watching. So it's that idea that, like, we think we know more than you, Booker guy, owner, whatever, and we know who we want. And that's fine. I think you should be able to express yourself in the same way. But, like, the detracting bit is the bit that gets to me. It's the bit when they don't give him anything. And that's what annoys me, is the fact that, like, he's not a bad wrestler.
He's definitely not a bad wrestler. Like
he's not a great wrestler, but his style works for him, and that's what he does good. That's all you can do.
The Razor's Edge into the sit-down powerbomb is so good. And another thing that people...
He's got a good spear as well.
He's got a great spear, yeah. And, like, Superman Punch isn't a great move, but here's the thing. He can do it on anybody. He's not going to do... Like, that Razor's Edge sit-down powerbomb, that should be his finisher. But he's not going to be doing that against Braun Strowman, is he? So that's why he has Superman Punch, is because he's heavyweight, he's against big guys. That's why AJ Styles does the phenomenal forearm instead of the Styles Clash. You're not going to catch AJ winning against Braun Strowman with the Styles Clash. But if he does the phenomenal forearm... yeah, exactly. He can take on anyone. Like, Roman Reigns' rise as a main eventer coincides with WWE, for whatever reason, reducing the moveset for every single wrestler. When was the last time you saw someone do a side Russian leg sweep in wrestling? It just doesn't happen. A pendulum drop, sidewalk slam. They don't do those moves anymore. But, like, you know, if you're talking about movesets...
Even the flippy people don't have a lot of variety.
Yeah. It's very, very samey, and it's obviously a conscious decision. And if you think about it, when was the last time you even heard Michael Cole say the name of a move? Like, they just don't do it anymore. It's not actually a wrestling show. Like, I'm pretty sure, haven't they, like, legally changed the name of WWE so that it doesn't actually stand for World Wrestling Entertainment?
It's actually WWE.
It just means WWE, and it's just...
I think... I don't know if it's actually gone through, but it was, like, mentioned at the time that you don't say the meaning of the letters, you're just WWE, and that's not w.w.eu, you know what I mean?
You don't say wrestling. Like, they're not, like... So, you know, just fuck off.
But that's fine. Like, that's fine because, like, I think it's their company and they should be allowed to do that. But it's the idea that these fans go out there and they kind of go just like, we tell you what we want. We tell you what we want. And again, feedback's great. Like, I think the best way to feedback, actually, as a matter of fact, is tune into the segments that the people you're in are on and buy their merch, and you will see them get a giant push.
That's the thing right there, is that nobody sells more merch than Roman Reigns, apart from John Cena.
Yeah. The only times that John Cena was upped in merch in the last couple of years, like once, I think it was Mysterio. Mm-hmm. Guess who got the title that year?
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy in 2008, right at the end, he got the title. And CM Punk during the Summer of Punk.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Yeah.
So, do that. Like, buy their shit, watch their segments, don't give out about everybody else. Because they'll also do that to spite you. Because they're not above that.
I know.
They will push people to spite you, and you just have to, like, quit watching. But they know. I mean, I know the ratings aren't as good as they used to be, but that's because they've got a network, and obviously TV's just so many more options than sitting and watching a 3-hour show. But, like, why have that much offendedness if you're not willing to kind of look at it logically and say, I think Roman is good, I just don't like him. That's fine. Like, that bit's fine. You can just say, I don't like him. Cool. Don't boo or cheer him. I think I said this to you before in the other show, or when we spoke at some point. It's like, the best reaction to get someone to fuck off is no reaction.
Exactly.
If he's out there and there's crickets, because he had a match with Kane once. It was like Kane and J&J Security, like during like him versus Rollins before he got his hernia. Like, it was like 2014, 2013. Like, he was getting crickets out there.
Yeah.
And I think, when he came out after he beat Taker,
yeah,
holy shit.
That is the best promo that I've seen in so long. Just for how original it was and how much of a fuck you it was. So good.
Yeah.
He can fucking work the crowd though. Like he's
Yeah.
not. People think that this booing thing is upsetting him. Like it's not. He genuinely doesn't care.
Much like Cena.
Yeah.
What Cena always spoke about, he said, like, there's a few people that I fight for. And I wasn't the biggest Cena fan during the era in which he got beaten up and all he did was the FU and the
Same.
SDFU.
I resented that a lot too.
Yeah, he's improved a lot, but he fucking didn't, because Batista is known to, like, just collapse when they're doing the opposite of what he wants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And Sting's famous for that, because then he had this match with Vader and they were cheering Vader, and he threw a strop, and Shawn Michaels against Sid Vicious, he threw a strop as well when they were cheering Sid Vicious, because it was like New York and they didn't like the boy toy. They went into their tough guys.
Yeah.
And Cena never capitulated. Fucking Roman Reigns has never capitulated, because as much as you boo, the opposite side will cheer just as hard.
Yeah.
Because as Cena pointed out once, when you're saying let's go Cena, Cena sucks, you may think you're being clever, but what you're doing is you're burying the other guy because you're making the match all about me.
Yeah.
Because you're all saying my name, because that is sticking around in people's memories more, as opposed to going, because I remember I think it was him versus RVD at One Night Stand, and that's the only time where they're going, let's go Cena, Cena sucks, and they actually went, no, fuck you, like in the crowd, like fuck you, and they went, let's go Cena, oh no, Cena sucks, RVD, Cena sucks, RVD.
Yeah.
Like, rather than going, this guy, good or bad, it's just like, you're focusing too much on Roman, and you're giving the attention, because people will then watch him just to say how much he sucks, but you're watching.
Exactly.
So, what's your fucking point?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a nice rant.
We got like way off topic.
Oh yeah.
But coming up next, it's
the
Kane.
Big Show. Oh yeah, Kane.
Yeah.
They put him over, which is quite nice as well. Remember when Kane and Big Show were a tag team?
Yeah, not so much anymore.
Nah, they're fighting each other, aren't they?
Kane just body slams him over the top rope, which is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, Big Show just looks worthless, doesn't he?
Yeah,
at this point,
much, yeah.
Just picks him up and fucking wiggles him out. There's a stunner. I can't remember to who it was, but I've written stunner. And then RVD maybe I think RVD's really attractive. Stunner! It's RVD. He fucking flies in with a 5-star, which is awesome.
Yeah, it was actually before that, I think just before he came in, Angle eliminated Kane with an angle slam, and Kane actually flew the opposite way to how he should have. But then, yeah, RVD ran straight up to the top rope, and did the 5-star frog splash, and it's such a fucking clean looking move. He's so damn good at that.
So much height. I love the flashing bulbs in the background as well.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He's just a beast.
He gave like a really uplifting explosion of energy when he came in. He did a lot. He did some kicks on Mr. Perfect. He lifted up Austin, slammed him down, did the Rolling Thunder on him. It was really good to see him in there. And then Booker T followed him out.
I think that was the job of like Booker, Kane, Big Show, and RVD, was to give a breather to those other 4 guys, because obviously going to be until the end.
Yeah, totally.
So it was kind of like, we'll do our shit. You guys just basically take abuse from us.
Yeah.
Take a splash sell, take a scissors kick sell. But like, Booker T does a spin-a-rooney.
Yeah.
And I kind of marked out a bit because I was a bit like, that's hilarious. And then he gets eliminated as well.
Yeah, by a stunner.
I hate that though, because a normal stunner would send you over the top. Or why has he perfected the stunner to like make you levitate over the top rope or something?
It would work on The Rock or someone like that, or Scott Hall actually.
Scott Hall,
yeah. But
the fucking rocket launcher stunner.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and we've still got that to come actually in the coming episode.
Oh yes.
But the Booker T, over the top rope, whatever, that's fine. It gets down to a final 4 of Triple H, Mr. Perfect, Kurt Angle, and Austin, and it's a really good display. At this point,
styles. Who do you think is going out next at this point? To be honest, because I was thinking it's the other 2 clowns, and it's Triple H and fucking
Austin,
right?
Yeah.
No.
Yep. I know why they did that too. It's because the crowd would have like they were trying to make Triple H the main guy.
Ah, yes, that's so true. Oh man, that's so clever. Yeah.
So, who did go next? Austin, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Steve.
Austin went
It was
first.
shocking.
And then he came back in and smashed everyone with a steel chair. Which was great. Obviously to give them an extra breather.
Yeah.
And then...
Have a lie down here. I mean, at this point, she mentioned, this is the longest Rumble ever.
Is it really?
Ever. It's the longest one they ever had. It's like an hour, 10 minutes.
Fucking hell.
But there's no Iron Man as such, which is odd. There's no like, oh, this guy's been here since he was number 2. It's all like, I think Triple H or Austin was in it the most, for like 25 minutes.
Austin was in it the longest at 26 minutes, and Triple H was in it for 23, so pretty close.
Not that long.
No.
No, I mean, because nowadays, someone does at least half an hour.
But nowadays, the Rumble is not every 2 minutes, it's every 90 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Even though that's not entire. I think it's whatever it suits them that year. But
I think it's whatever spot's coming up next in the match as well, because they don't stick to it.
It's
in the
not
matches.
2 minutes at all. No. It's never an even 2 minutes. But
not at all. It's just like, okay, there's a gap now. Get the fuck out there.
Yeah.
So now down to 3. How cool would it be if Mr. Perfect won as a face?
Oh, it'd be awesome. He was class though. He was so good to watch. Like, the perfect plex he hit on Angle was nice, but he followed it up with that thing, you know, where they do like a somersault flip while holding the guy's head to do a neck breaker. And like he did it so seamlessly. Like Mr. Perfect was really, really good in the ring. It's crazy to think that he died within a year of this.
Yeah, it's also crazy to think that he had to retire because of a back injury after he lost to Brett. And he had that fucking, that Lloyd's of London, which cover long-term injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
They were like paying him for ages because his back was completely wrecked.
Fucking hell.
So, yeah, it's amazing that he's even back at this point. Yeah, and then he was like fired by April, and he was in TNA, and he was dead by like May or something.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I'd imagine it's because of his heart giving out, because of he looks huge. I know he's in great shape, but like he looks quite big, and you always notice this, that everyone is at their biggest when they're in the Fed.
Yeah, that's true.
Even Luger.
Look at like 97 Eddie Guerrero in WCW and compare him with the one that won the title at No Way Out, and it is scary. God,
his shoulders and his arms are basically the size of his head.
Yeah, scary.
And and he wasn't even in that bad shape in 97. He looked fucking awesome.
Yeah, he did.
He was so crisp. I mean, he stayed with a crispness, but obviously he was losing a step. Like, everyone just looks huge. So, up next, Mr. Perfect is out.
Yeah, Triple H knocks him out with a clothesline, I think. It's sort of Angle almost eliminates him, and he sort of tries to regroup in the middle of the on the ropes in between the two turnbuckles, and Triple H just gets him from behind and throws him over, and then Angle and Triple H go toe to toe. Angle almost eliminates Triple H and thinks that he does, and he's celebrating.
I hate that.
Yeah, it's shit. It's so obvious. It's so
How stupid is that, though? When I think it happened earlier with Rikishi was in the ring. I forgot to mention, like, they throw them out and they just turn around.
Yeah, I know. There's so many things wrong with the Rumble and the way that they go about eliminating people that it's actually painful sometimes. This year is not as bad as 2001. There was a lot of that in 2001.
I'll just throw him out, look the opposite way.
Not even that, but like, I'll throw him out, he's teetering, 4 guys go over trying to get rid of him, and it's like all they're doing is holding onto his arm or his leg. What are you doing?
Yeah. I remember like in one of the Rumbles, the Road Dogg, he came out and he literally just like lied down and he wrapped his legs on the bottom rope and he wrapped his arms on the bottom rope as well. And he was like a little slug.
Oh,
he wouldn't move.
That was 99, I think.
I think that's like the cleverest idea.
Yeah. He stayed in that Rumble for ages too, I remember.
For ages, and I love that. Like a payday, all you have to do is lie there like that. Because I don't like the whole cause I think it happened once here, the whole going through the middle ropes or the referee didn't see it. That really fucks me off.
Yeah, it's annoying.
But yes, Triple H does the pose, the entrance pose as well.
Yeah.
And then I think he does the knee, and then he runs and he fucking stiffs Kurt Angle.
That's right, yeah.
Right in the face.
It's right in the middle, yeah. It's not. It's like the least friendly version of a clothesline I've ever seen. Like he properly fucking levels him.
Yeah, it's like one for the camera. It's just like bang on the middle of the ring on the hard camera. He does the pose as well, so you got that for the picture. But it wasn't like the struggle. It was just like, well, I'm just gonna clothesline this guy.
Yeah, he hulked up in essence.
Yeah, that was it. He hulked up. So it was like, compared to like last year, Stone Cold hits the chair a million times on Kane. Year before that, I think like The Rock had the Big Show and he barely got him over. And it's that big story of like The Rock's feet actually hit.
Yeah.
Year before that, Vince won it. Obviously going to be screwy.
Yeah.
So like, it was the first time where the guy just went, well, fuck you, and just bam, clothesline. He's done.
Yeah, it's true.
Nice ovation for Triple H, though.
Yeah, it's good to see that too. Like, I know, depending on what kind of wrestling fan you are, you either hate Triple H or you are happy that he is making NXT a thing. But I love Triple H. I was originally a WCW fan, and when I first started watching WWF, Triple H was the champion, and it was when the McMahon-Helmsley regime was in full swing and all that.
He was the best wrestler in the world at that point.
I fucking loved him. He was so, like, I don't know, he was just so cool and so different to other heels and stuff like that.
Yeah, he wasn't booked as a chicken shit.
Yeah, exactly.
He literally, other than, I love his reaction when he finds out he's fighting Cactus Jack at the Rumble. This isn't that one in 97 where the three faces of Foley. This is the one where he's, like, constantly putting Mankind down. And then he's like, you're not going to be facing Mankind, takes the mask off. You're going to be facing Cactus Jack, takes the shirt, rips it off. The way he sold it wasn't like, I'm scared, blah, blah, blah. It was more like, holy shit, I've got to deal with this entire new person.
Yeah.
Like, I knew how the other guy beat, now I got to deal with this entire new person. But there's that sort of like, it's like he's scared, but he should pretend he's not scared, as opposed to being like, oh, I'm going to try and be sneaky and do a low blow and run out of the ring sort of thing.
Yeah.
So he was booked great at that time period. He really was.
Yeah, he's I don't know, like, I really liked how often he walked the line between heel and face. Even when he was, like, the baddest heel in the company, there would be times when, like there was this really weird time in 2000 when Kurt Angle was definitely a heel and, like, perceived as, like, a cowardly kind of heel that would get the most heat, and he was getting closer to Stephanie, and then Triple H was really angry and Triple H would go after Angle. And then other times where I remember, like, Angle was taking on The Rock and Stephanie was at ringside because she was Angle's manager, and Triple H comes down because Kurt Angle had clotheslined Stephanie or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Triple H
that's the
comes
one where
down, he kicks the fuck out of Angle, and then everyone's like, yeah, Triple H, and then The Rock gets up and Triple H sees him and he's like, yeah, fuck you as well, and hits him with the chair. And it's just like, I love the way he had no real fixed ideology other than, I am the game and I will be the top. Like,
yeah, I'm a bit like, if that's done right, obviously I love that sort of shades of grey thing. So it's like, in the Kurt Angle feud, he's a babyface. To everybody else, he's still a heel.
Yeah, it's so cool. I think, like, he also had a feud with Benoit for a time where they were both heels. And
oh my god, they've got a match. I think it's at, like, No Mercy, like 2000, or that when they're doing the English shows, Triple H and Benoit, and holy shit, they knock the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, there's one where Triple H has to, the whole, like, what would you call it, arc of the match is that Benoit is a wrestler and Triple H is not, and Triple H has to wrestle him, and, like, he properly fucking wrestles him. It's really good. You see Triple H using all kinds of moves that you never seen before and all, and you know that he's capable of doing it, and it's awesome. Like, just,
yeah, is that when he pulls out the Indian Deathlock as well?
I think so. Yeah, I can't even remember what pay-per-view it was, but it was odd at the time. I think it might have actually been the same pay-per-view that he comes out and levels Angle and Rock.
It was, I think, because if it's No Mercy 2000, because I've got that on tape, so I've always remembered that one. Yeah, it is, because they have a match, and then, because Kurt's like, me and Steph were just friends.
Yeah.
And then Triple H is like, I don't like the sound of this guy.
Yeah.
But I love that. It's wrestling, breaking away, but it's being clever without being too clever.
Yeah.
It's basically saying, Kurt Angle's a cunt, but he's a slimy cunt. Triple H is a cunt to your face.
Yeah.
So Triple H is a dickhead to your face, whereas Kurt Angle's like all sneaky. No, we're just friends. You're like, no, you're not. It's like they did this in '99, which I enjoyed it because I'm watching Ross from '99. One of my friends, he doesn't like wrestling. I shouldn't say he doesn't like it. He doesn't watch wrestling. He's never watched wrestling. He only got into it because we play the games, and we every year we make him watch WrestleMania with us. And he was like, "Do you want to just stick something on?" I was like, "Yeah, let's just go through the Raws in '99." So, and I've never watched the Raws from '99 properly, like episodically. And you've got concurrent storylines going on with Vince. So Vince, he's the CEO. He hates Austin. He has the corporation. And then Vince, who's actually scared of the Undertaker, who keeps doing stuff like breaking into his house. And this is the personification of Evil Taker, Ministry of Darkness, so sort of like February '99. And you've got basically Vince McMahon in the juxtaposition of like evil to Stone Cold, but he's got his own shit going on in which like he's actually the good guy. So you end up with Ken Shamrock, who if he's fighting like DX, he's a complete heel, but then he goes up to help Vince out as part of the corporation to attack Taker and his goons, and all of a sudden he's like the biggest baby face in the building. Like, it's difficult to do because people can't just dip in and out because they'll be confused. But like watching it weekly, I was like, you know what? Vince Russo actually got this mixture right here. I mean, obviously you went on to do all sorts of mad shit, but I actually really enjoyed the fact that he had the sort of mix there at that time period. And that's the same with that Triple H one.
Yeah.
Difficult to pull off. You need certain characters specifically. But I think it can be done. And when it's done quite well.
Yeah, I think you're completely right. Like, it's something that they kind of don't really attempt to do enough, but I think in this era, we might actually just... Because we're constantly seeing the blurring of the line between face and heel, especially with the crowd reactions and stuff. Like, we might be headed towards that kind of a thing now, where people are going to be face sometimes and heel other times, because they already do that with Cena. They've done it before in the past, where HBK would be a heel if he wrestled in Canada and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
I'd like to see more of that, because I think that's more interesting. Nobody should be defined in
so everyone's kind of a three-dimensional character.
Exactly, yeah. It
rather
shouldn't
than
just be
A and B.
The yin-yang, typical good versus evil kind of arc. So
yeah, so like it will be more of a moral thing. So it comes down to the morality of the characters.
Yeah.
So that thing of like, we're heels, so we're all friends. We're faces, and we're all best friends. But nowadays, you're right. You get Cena, and if Cena is confronting a babyface, he says, "You haven't proven it. I'm the man. I'm the fucking best at this company. I've survived everything." And that's quite a cunty thing to say. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
But it's quite a sort of heelish thing to say. And then against the heels, he says the same thing, and people go, yeah. I mean, they don't because they boo him. But you know what I mean? Generally speaking, the idea is they go, yeah, that's right. He's awesome. They do the same thing with Brock Lesnar.
Yes, Brock Lesnar actually is the perfect example, because it doesn't really matter. He's probably in the unique position, though, of just being an attraction no matter what, because he's such a physical specimen. But, like, I'll tell you this, I watch every Brock Lesnar match, and I don't really watch that much anymore. Like, I keep in touch, I watch stuff that I want to watch. I'll watch anything with Brock Lesnar in it. I watch UFC with him in it. Like, I love watching Brock.
I think it's like he comes in, he talks shit, he beats people up, irregardless of who's in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Heyman does the talking, and it's that sort of like, it's strange because it sounds quite disjointed because he fucks off every now and then, but he is one of those people. I mean, he might be losing this soon because I think he's getting older, obviously, and don't know how often he's going to keep going with this schedule, because WWE might think we're kind of losing money sometimes with him, but like, it's such a straightforward way, because like, he is a fighter. He's not a good guy. He's not a bad guy. So against Taker, he was the bad guy. 6 months later, he's fighting Rollins. He's a good guy, but Undertaker interferes.
Yeah.
So is Undertaker the heel now? And a lot of people get, like, because I was reading reports, and people like, oh, I don't get it. Is he a heel? Is he a face? Like, no. He is a fighter. And he fights whoever wants to fight him. That's it.
He legitimizes the sport, too. He just makes it more authentic.
Agreed. And I think that he is a benefit to, even if he does get popped for roids at UFC, and WWE's like, well, he didn't get popped here, he got popped over there, but he can do whatever the fuck. He can swear on TV.
Yeah.
He can just do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. Did you watch him and Joe?
I did, yeah.
I haven't seen that yet. Was that good?
It was good, but it wasn't as good
Roman
as I hoped
better?
it would be. Yeah, I think, honestly, Like, I think people are going to suspect that I mark out for Reigns when, in fact, I don't. I just have been forced into the position of defending him so much that he's the thing I talk about. And it's not because I think he's so amazing. It's because I think everybody unfairly, underrates him. But I honestly, the Brock Lesnar-Roman Reigns match from WrestleMania is probably the best wrestling match I've ever watched in my life. Not wrestling, like, no German suplexes or, like, not including that kind of thing. Just purely the rawness of it. It's the most vicious wrestling match I've ever seen.
It's all these like fragmented points of like what you like just happening it's like a supernova. That's it. It's like a brawl, but it's like kept in a ring.
Yeah.
And it's balanced. Cause I loved that match when I watched it live. Like
I thought it was the most perfectly booked match that they could have done. Like, starting out with the F5, that was amazing, and everyone going nuts for it, and Lesnar just wanting to brutalize Reigns, and then Reigns actually getting the hope and starting to hulk up a little bit, and everyone going like, oh boo, this is typical, this is what we expect, and like, it didn't work for him. It took like 2 spears, 2 Superman punches, nothing was happening. Lesnar wasn't taking any of it. Like, Reigns spits his tooth into the ring at one point, which they've taken off the network, by the way. That bit isn't in it anymore. Brock gets busted open legitimately from the ring post. The part where Brock clotheslines Reigns off the apron is such a fucking brutal hit. Like, you can feel it in its
flips. Yeah,
it's nuts.
I imagine like they were backstage and Brock just sort of went like, you can hit me as hard as you can. You can't knock me out.
I've heard Reigns talk
like
about
straight
it
up
on Jericho's podcast. Reigns said he said, I don't know if you've ever tried to work a match with Lesnar and Heyman, but they drive a really hard bargain. They're really hard to negotiate with. So we ended up just settling on, let's just beat the shit out of each other. And that's what happened. So
because obviously in the back of his mind, Lesnar's like, I literally could kill you if I wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can take liberties, but like, just remember, you're getting a fucking receipt every single time he's getting a receipt. For whatever he does.
I also thought it was perfect that Reigns had done his finishers, both of his signature moves, twice on Lesnar to get him down, and when Seth comes out, he hits Lesnar with the curb stomp, and then he backs up into the corner and he does the curb stomp again. And he doesn't even pin Lesnar. He just does his finishers twice just to make sure that Lesnar stays down. Like, it's so characteristically consistent,
Yeah, he's like a super boss in a video game.
Oh, totally.
You have to do the same move over and over again to get him down. And that, I think that's like the rules of booking go outside if you're Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why he's enjoyable, because like you said, he's an attraction.
Yeah, totally.
So you don't have to adhere to normal booking rules. If you want him to win in 3 minutes with 17 Germans, that's what you get, like the Cena match at SummerSlam.
That was great.
Or if he's getting Taker and pinning him after the third, he will. Like, his matches have that sort of like, yes, I know people kick out of most F5s, but like, it could end at any moment. Yeah. And that has that unpredictability, which most matches don't have now. Because most matches now are about how many times can you hit the finisher. I suppose that Lesnar, it kind of veers into that, but it's not about that. And basically, if you beat Brock Lesnar, it feels like you've done something.
Yeah, totally.
And he's the only person, maybe besides Taker until he left, that genuinely means something.
Yeah.
Triple H loses loads.
Yeah.
Cena's lost a fair amount, All the other guys are always on a sort of 50-50 booking. Like Roman and Braun and Joe and like against each other, I mean, not against everybody else, but like whoever they're feuding with, it's usually they trade wins.
Yeah, so they do. Yeah.
So the feud goes on for 6 months as opposed to 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I would never be like, oh, Roman Mark over here. I like Roman, and I liked him ever since he was in the Shield. Like, in order, I'd probably say Dean, then kind of Seth, but not that much, and then Roman. But, like, I understood what Roman's role was. He was, like, the big motherfucker.
I would have said that at the time, but Dean Ambrose is objectively terrible right now.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry, I think the idea of Dean.
Totally, yeah.
I actually know, I'm 100% agreement. He's shit as a babyface, and it doesn't work. Actually, Seth has got the plucky babyface thing, I think, nailed a little bit better than Dean does. Dean's kind of a cunt sometimes.
Dean Ambrose is, on his best day, he is Stone Cold Steve Blackman, right? He's a
Yeah,
cross between both of those guys. Similar style, similar sort of sloppiness, but like good sloppiness, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But
He's
just
got a bit of the Sheamus about him when Sheamus was a face, but he was
yeah.
actually kind of a bully.
But I don't know, I don't even think it's the way he's been booked. I think he is just, his title run was really bad, and it was as if he was phoning it in every match. And it just,
I think they gave him the belt just to say all the three Shield guys, there you go, you've got the belt.
yeah, but what's funny to me is that like everybody wanted him to have the belt, saying that he was way better than Reigns and everything, and then he got the belt, and like truthfully he wasn't, and it would have been better if they put it on Reigns, but they couldn't put it on Reigns because the Smarks were too angry at that whole
Yeah.
thing. So what they ended up with was a really lackluster championship run, like from a guy who just wasn't ready at the time.
Yeah, because then he gave it straight to AJ, and
Yeah.
that was that. And he's never been considered again. He like the month later he was the Intercontinental Champion, and there's nothing more of a sort of status affirming fact than you win the world title one month and you're winning the Intercontinental title the next. And I
Yeah.
think that's gonna happen to Jericho, just to come around full circle here.
Yeah.
I think that might be happening. So right now, as we stand, we've got Triple H as the Rumble winner, Jericho as the champion. So it's weird that the next pay-per-view that we do, the person challenging for the title didn't win the Rumble. But whatever. But yeah, what did you make of this show overall, by the way?
Any Royal Rumble is amazing to me. I mean, within reason. But yeah, I like this a lot. I like this pay-per-view a lot. What you said about nobody really fully understanding what their gimmick was is very true, and it was noticeable. But for the most part, it wasn't noticeable enough to harm the show itself. So we ended up with some really solid matches. Like, I wasn't mad about Flair versus McMahon. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Well, not thoroughly. I enjoyed it 2/3 of the way through, and I think if it were 2/3 of its length, it would have been perfect. But other than that, there's not a bad match. The tag team match opening it up was awesome, really explosive, like really
It's
well
what you
paced.
want, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. And Regal Edge, like, there's really nothing wrong with that. Like, I would watch those two wrestle for a lot longer than that too. Trish and Jazz was as good as it was going to be in 2002 female wrestling, I guess.
Yeah.
And Jericho and The Rock was just an awesome match from two heavyweight, goats.
Yeah, they are. But yeah, that's the new one. See, the word legend's been replaced with goat.
Yeah, I love the word goat. Except I do this thing where I say this is the goat thing of all time, because you're saying it's the greatest of all time thing of all time.
Is that if you go like, I'll be right back ASAP as soon as possible?
Yeah. Or sometimes I say ASAP as possible.
Yes, I think that's in The Office.
That's right. Yeah, that is.
Michael Scott says it, 'cause that's one of those. It's just like the quote that he says, "Would you rather be feared or be loved?" And he goes, "I would want people to fear how much they love me,"
Yeah.
which I think is just genius. Fuck everyone who doesn't like the U.S. Office, because it's great.
It's the best one.
It's so good, and it took off a completely life of its own.
Yeah.
But, yeah, sorry, what were you saying about the pay-per-view?
Yeah, and the Rumble was great as they go. It was class. Lots of really nice moments, like good set pieces. Nice to see Maven getting a shout in there with a history-making moment. Mr. Perfect came back. Like, that's what you want in a Rumble, ideally, is that it becomes a sort of a canvas for dream matches to be drawn onto. And
yeah, you judge the reaction and go from there.
Exactly. And seeing that, I don't know, a Final Four of Angle, Mr. Perfect, Austin, and Triple H, like, that's the stuff that dreams are made of, really. Like, they're all slightly different eras, like, if you think about it. Like, Angle had a lot longer of a run than Austin did. Austin was sort of end of 90s. Angle was, like, beginning of 2000s. Triple H encompasses both times. And then there's Mr. Perfect, sort of an early 90s guy. And they worked so well together. It was so seamless. It was just really good to see. So like I'd give this like a 9 out of 10. I think the only things wrong with it were the pacing of the street fight and just a few other things in the Rumble that were slightly inconsistent with what was going on, and like the people's gimmicks not being 100%. That's pretty much it. Like,
It's kind of clunky.
Yeah, it was clunky in places, but yeah, awesome pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Like, it's definitely on the at least 5 out of 10. I think that it's much better than Vengeance. A, crowd.
Yeah.
B, crowd then subsequently reflects on the fact that the product just seems better. And I think this is the proper turn on the Rumble's quality. From this Rumble on is what you think of the modern Rumble sort of thing.
Yeah.
The surprise people because there's enough gaps in history now to be like, oh, let's bring this guy back. Like when Kevin Nash and say Booker T would come back, or Mick Foley. Like, there's that sort of like anticipation, like, oh, which GOAT is coming back.
I had actually argued that the 2001 Rumble, the one before this one, set that when Honky Tonk Man came out and got his guitar smashed over his head by Kane.
Yes, there you go. It's exactly because the year before they did fucking Bob Backlund, but like, yeah, all right, Bob Backlund, like the guy who was champion before Hogan, which basically
Drew Carey.
Yeah, which is basically the time where like there was no history. Yeah, and they had Drew Carey as well, obviously. But yeah, no, they kept up that theme of like either returning people or debuting people there, and kind of keeping it exciting that way. I really enjoy the Rumble. It's probably my third favorite Rumble.
Yeah.
I'd say the one where Redacted won is probably one of my favorites.
I haven't actually watched that one all the way through.
It's just his story, and he is going full throttle for the whole 60 minutes that he's in.
Yeah.
So it feels like he's done an Iron Man match against 29 people by himself, sort of thing. And I really enjoyed. Which Rumble was it? The one that Taker won. I think it's like 2007.
Oh yeah, where he came out number 30, wasn't he?
Yeah, and it's him and Shawn at the end, and it's just like, you're gonna have this. You have to wait 2 years for this dream match, but it is worth it. Yeah, so I'd say the Rumble is probably, like I said, 2001 is probably the beginning of the modern Rumble, but this Rumble to me in my head feels like it's like the sort of the bar of like what a good Rumble actually is.
Yeah.
Because obviously 2001, it was just like, everything is just so roided up and jacked up, and it's the attitude there, it's like crazy. This is where it's kind of like the downturn, but there's still like the Rumble's still quite populated with stars, and I'd say there's probably more stars here than there was the year before.
Definitely, yeah. That's why they spaced it out, like you said, so that each big name gets a time to have an emphatic entrance of sorts. Because
Kane and Big Show, they're usually big names. They were reduced to like the I eliminate one guy, and even RVD and Booker T. In most Rumbles, they've got stats, if that makes sense, but they had to be, used as cannon fodder for Angle and Perfect and all the bigger Taker.
Yeah.
Whoever you want to place The Rock, not The Rock, sorry, it's in the other match, but yeah, The Rock versus Jericho. I fucking love this match.
Would that be your match of the night?
Yes, 100%. I feel like this match is like I always get this weird image in my head of them just putting together a puzzle, but not knowing what the pieces are, and just kind of like every time I watch that match, there's bits that still catch me off guard, and that's not because I have like memory loss or anything. It's just because it's like it's different,
Yeah.
And there's always bits that I'm like, oh yeah, does that happen here? Oh yeah, okay, is that the end? Like, there's always that bit where I'm like, is that the end? And it never is.
Yeah.
It's the same as the Benoit Angle match of 2003 at the Rumble, where it's like they just keep building it and building it and building it up and building it up in reversals and count. It's just watch that match if you haven't, by the way.
Yeah, that is a great match.
Oh, you've seen it. It's phenomenal. I really enjoyed the Flair match as well. I think that the Flair match was probably my favorite, but it's not the best, because to me, match and I still rock with them. I know I guess you can have your heart and your brain or whatever the fuck, but like, something made me very happy about seeing Ric Flair blade. It's like visiting an old friend sort of thing. It's like, and now he bleeds, and everything is alright with the world. I don't know, there's just something cool, lovely about that. Enjoyed that. Like you said, the women's match was probably better than the month before, but still obviously like far, far behind the men, and that's just good the way it's going to be for a few years, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Regal versus Edge. I'd say it's the same thing as The Rock and Jericho. Better than last month. They've got more chemistry. And I think that having Regal win is good because I don't see Edge hanging around the IC title scene for too long, but then I think the draft comes along, all that kind of disappears. But I thought he was going to be moved on to the main event because the pay-per-view is in Canada. But I think Regal deserved the title anyways, irregardless.
Yeah, you're right.
It fit that character, that cheating character as well, and you can always just have someone beat him. And I really enjoyed the opener. I thought the opener was fucking great. They went in there, didn't mess about. It was just like, let's just beat the shit out of each other. 5 minutes. Sorry, Taz, you're taking a fucking neck breaker on the outside.
Yeah.
Sorry about your neck there, bud. And, yeah, that's that.
I think, the opener, like, I think you could have made an unbelievable dream what-if scenario with having ECW guys in the early 2000s with a WWE budget, like a WWE production, like, because they're like, they are actually more extreme. Like, they will take harder bumps, they'll have more explosive matches, they'll just give more to what they're doing. And so, like, that's why I'll watch any of those types of matches. Like, if I hear Spike, Taz, and the Dudleys are in a match, like, I'm gonna want to watch it because I know I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, there's that sort of guaranteed of, like, it'll be high energy, because I think the Dudleys, like, obviously last month they were working big guys in Vengeance, but like whenever they work anybody else either their size or just about their size or even smaller, obviously, they just kick it up a notch. And I like, they're easily my favorite tag team, and Bubba's like one of my all-time sort of, like, because I didn't know that other people thought Bubba was good. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was always a little bit skeptical if someone went, "Oh, who's your favorite?" So I'm like, Raven, because I'm hardcore and he's hardcore, and who else? Oh, RVD, I like the weed, and Booker T, and all these people that just come to mind. But I would never be like, "Yeah, Bubba, right? You've got to watch his tag team match," because it feels like you're basically going, "You've got to watch a quarter of a match to get his bits in."
Yeah.
So, but I fucking love him. Like, I think that he should be getting a push at this time when they split the Dudleys, and he doesn't, which just sucks.
He
yeah,
kinda does. He gets...
Apparently he wrestled Triple H and dropped him on his head, and his push went away.
Oh, really? Is that what happened? Yeah, because he was the one that they used to get Brock over initially.
Was it?
Which was pretty interesting. Yeah, Brock. I think Brock's first ever match might have been against Bubba Ray Dudley on Raw.
Oh, okay. And
but
that's when he was coming in just spine busting people through tables and shit.
Yeah, but Bubba and Brock had a sort of a television show rivalry, if you know what I mean. Like, never a pay-per-view one, but they definitely had beef at the time, and they had a couple of matches. I think they had a couple of one-on-ones, and then they also had matches where they were against each other in tag teams. But they obviously put Bubba to work with Brock for a reason, and I think that's because of how explosive Bubba can be and how well he sells moves and stuff like that. So
yeah, or sort of like can Brock. I mean, I suppose you shouldn't really road test Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
but I'm sure it's one of those, can he hang with him and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and he needs to be guided, sort of thing. But like, I don't know. Like, I think the Dudleys had some stinkers in TNA where they just brawled with the crowd. By the way, how much TNA do you know?
Very, very, very little. I only watched it during that weird window where it was available on TWC on Sky. But
yeah.
I
because you wouldn't have gotten Challenge over there, would you?
I think we did have Challenge for a bit, but I moved house, and like we didn't get our Sky package back until like a couple of years later, and by that point I didn't care because I wasn't really watching TV anymore, and all the wrestling
and the buzz was gone.
Yeah, totally. But I did watch some AJ Styles matches and Christopher Daniels matches at the time, but I never saw like Sting's run or Angle's run or any stuff from there. But I was just saying to one of my friends recently, because me and him watch wrestling a lot on weekends, well, on Friday nights mainly. I get a few beers and we watch like a Rumble or an Elimination Chamber or something like that.
Yeah.
But we were saying recently they have like a network for TNA, a TNA network thing, and we were thinking of just getting that and watching some matches on that because we know nothing about it at the time.
Yeah, I think it's like $1 as well. You can actually just buy the thing on YouTube.
Oh, really?
You know those things that go play here and then you actually can actually play. It's like $1. And I think I may definitely give it a shot. Because I was thinking we should do some TNA stuff because I think
I would love
there's
that,
a lot
yeah.
of comedy there because there's a lot of like production snafus and there's just like it's a weird company that at times felt like the second biggest company, at times felt like the most sort of Bush League. Like they had Val Venus come in 2010 and beat like I think it's Christopher Daniels. 2010 they had the Nasty Boys beat the Dudleys.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, but then on the same card you'd have Desmond Wolfe, but I think he's called something else. Nigel McGuinness.
Oh yeah,
against Kurt Angle.
I saw that match. I watched that match. Yeah, I've seen that. It's I thought it was really good, but at the time it was billed to me as Nigel McGuinness is one of the greatest in the world, and I don't think that came off in that match. But
I think they had 3, so I think
right, okay, yeah.
And I think I don't know which order they go in, but I think one's good, one's really good, one's like near perfect sort of thing.
I saw one of their matches that was Angle against Samoa Joe in like an MMA type match.
Oh yeah,
that was really fucking good. That has to be one of the most well booked things they ever did because that was really, really solid. I really enjoyed that.
I imagine that was all out of Kurt Angle's head.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
And it's one of those things. I think like if you watched it retrospectively, or did you watch it at the time?
No, I watched it about 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Because like some of those matches, like because I can't remember where I heard this, where it's like. Once you watch, I don't watch MMA by the way, so I wouldn't know what proper MMA is. But like apparently, if you watch MMA properly, that match looks hokey as fuck.
Oh yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
But in a pro wrestling setting, it's still like it's just so different, you know?
Yeah,
it's
It's exciting, like.
Yeah, and it's a little bit like when you see Goldberg do all those little leg things, and you're like, holy shit, this guy can go. And then you watch UFC, and you're like. Yeah, he had about 10 seconds to get out of that one.
yeah, totally.
Goldberg, like, he's not applying any pressure there, and there. But, like, at the time, he's, like, rolling through and, like, grabbing their leg. You're like, holy shit, this guy's a legit fighter here.
It's so funny, the difference between the two.
But, yeah, no, we should definitely, like, look into TNA, because I think, I haven't watched TNA in fucking, ever since Christian was, basically, I watched Christian's run there. And that was it. So it's like 2005, 2009, he's gone again. When he was Christian Cage, and he was just incredible.
Yeah.
Because he actually was allowed to have proper character.
Yeah.
And
Christian's awesome as well. So like,
he's just so good.
Yeah.
But much like, again, he also had a storyline in which he was like a heel and also a face.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you had the Christian Coalition, which was him, AJ, and Tomko. And you had the Angle Alliance, which was also which was also Tomko and AJ Styles. And then you had this match between Angle and Christian. It's probably one of my favorite matches I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
But in that match, Christian is face.
Oh, right.
But he's a complete prick to those guys. But so is Kurt. The only difference is Kurt is saying, like, if you join with me, you'll get a title shot. If you join with him, he'll just basically make you your bitch. Well, you'll be there, his bitch, sorry. So it's just like, it's so cleverly done, because it's just like heel versus heel, but then in the match itself, like, they turn on Christian, spoiler alert, they turn on Christian, you just feel bad, because you're like, oh man, all he wanted to do is treat his friends like shit. And he didn't even get to do that.